Good morning, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Morning Mind Up with Tree. I'm Tree, artist, art life coach. I'm just someone here who's trying to make sense of life in real time and sharing it with you as I go. If you're new here, this is a passion project of mine. So if anything resonates with you today, the best way you can support is do a simple like, comment, or share. Let's share this space together. This is a safe space. Before we get into it, I wanted to invite you also to pause for a moment because everybody's always so busy. So take a deep breath, ground yourself, and open your mind to possibly a different perspective. This is my personal experiences, my thoughts, my story. You don't have to agree with everything. Just take whatever resonates and leave whatever doesn't. So what I want to get into today is the differences between becoming someone and actually living as them, why major life changes don't always click right away, and how my divorce became the moment everything started finally aligning. And I'm not saying that my marriage was terrible all the time, right? We were both responsible for the good and the bad. Here's something that kind of hit me recently, right? April 5th marks 5 years since my divorce. April 6th marks 11 years since I changed my name from Patricia Marie to Tree. I was not born with Tree. I chose that name. And yeah, they're one day apart, but years apart too. And the more I sat with that, the more I realized something deeper. I became Tree 11 years ago. And I didn't start fully living as her until about 5 years ago. And so let that sink in for just a minute. Do the quick math, right? Because changing my name, that was the decision. But becoming her, that was a process that happened after. And there was this in between space where I knew who I wanted to be, but I was still holding onto pieces of who I used to be. And I think a lot of us live there a little bit longer than we realize. We make the decision, right? I'm going to change. I'm going to grow. I want to choose myself, self love. And we stay in environments, relationships, patterns that don't fully match the new version of us. And that was me. Tree existed, but Patricia was still making most of the decisions. Patricia was still tolerating certain things. Patricia still questioned her worth all the time. And Patricia was trying to fit into spaces that didn't fully align with her. And, my marriage wasn't terrible. I think for the most part, I thought that he did get me. I questioned a lot, actually, if he even liked me, because I didn't feel like he wanted to spend time with me. And that really made me not want to do wifely things. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go there. But, so the intimacy wasn't there anymore because I can't be intimate with somebody who I don't even think likes me. Like, he didn't want to spend any time with me. I really do feel like and this is the first time that I'm really talking about this, but I feel like he, was avoiding me a lot. And so then I took a job overnight just so I wouldn't feel alone because I would make dinner and I wasn't the type of wife that's like, "Oh, you got to come home. It's, dinner time, whatever." But he would stay after work a lot and hang out and drink with his friends and the people that he worked with all day, And I'm like, okay, what about me? Yeah, I did. I wanted attention. I needed attention. So when it came time for him wanting physical attention, I was like, no, no, I don't feel comfortable. So yeah, that's the honest truth is there was miscommunication. I didn't spell it out for him. I just kind of put up with his being distant. And I don't know why he was being distant, but I feel like he was. And at the time too, I was very avoidant because I didn't want conflict. I didn't want to get a divorce. I didn't want to not be chosen. So then the divorce happened, right? And divorce isn't easy, especially not during COVID. Although it was really easy to get a divorce during COVID. You just have to, fill out the paperwork and send it in and that was it. Like nobody questioned why or whatever. You're like, yep, nope, it's amicable. Okay, fine, do it, right? I tried to celebrate that, right? Like, I tried to make a joke about it and say I was going to have like a divorce party and ha ha ha, try to make light and fun of it. And because that's what I grew up learning is when difficult situations happen, you just kind of laugh it off and it doesn't bother me, but it bothered me. I don't really remember when everything aligned for me, but it definitely forced me to stop living halfway. I had to force myself to choose me. And am I going to be Tree or just keep saying I am? And from that point on, things shifted. It was definitely not overnight. It was not perfectly, it was intentionally, but I did start making decisions that actually matched the person I said I was becoming. And that's the part people don't always talk about, right? When you become yourself, it's not just one big moment. It's a progression. It's a series of small, sometimes very uncomfortable choices that we eventually have to take and that line up. So now when I look back at these two dates, I don't see them as separate things. I see them as a timeline. Year one, I chose my name. Year 2 through 6, I explored it, I questioned it, I grew into being a tree. And now I'm fully embodying it. I've had relationships that I struggled back and forth, who wanted to have control, and there wasn't a lot of reciprocity, and I learned lessons. I don't regret any of the relationships that I have had in the past 5 years or longer. I have no animosity towards anybody. I don't hate. Did we have tension between us at times? Different people? Sure. We all grew up differently, have our own boundaries. So I don't regret any of it. I'm grateful if they've helped me. I believe that everybody we meet, we learn and teach from each other. So hopefully, they got what they needed. And if they don't know what that was, then that's okay too. Not everybody is on a self-discovery journey. I chose to learn more about myself so that I could be a better person for other people and myself, right? Especially myself. And so, yeah, now here I am. I am not perfect. I'm not finished. I'm not healed, but I am in aligned a way I wasn't before. And it's okay. You don't have to feel like 100% aligned all the time either. Life changes. Yeah, changes. People come and go, yada, yada, yada. I do alchemize all my situations. And I didn't even know what that word was until a few years ago. And everybody's like, how could you be so happy-go-lucky all the time? And yet, they know that I've gone through a lot of hardship. And I just tell them I have faith. I try to be the best person that I can be from what I know, right? And I try to be as genuine as possible and loving and caring and a kind person. And I try to put out what I want in return. That was something I learned long, long ago in my childhood. Oh, yes, I grew up in a time where we went to church all the time. And I know that's rare now. It's not part of this generation. They're not forced to go. I technically wasn't forced to go. I wanted to go to get away from my mother. Anyway, so now I'm really curious. Where are you in your journey right now if you are on a self-discovery journey? What moment changed you the most? A relationship ending, a personal decision that you made, a loss or a hardship, or you feel like you're still in the middle of becoming? Drop your answer below. I really want to hear your story. Of course, I have a Tree of Wisdom quote for you today and some guidance. Becoming yourself isn't a one-time decision. It is a series of brave moments that eventually align into your truth. And so today, the guidance: notice where your life doesn't fully match the version of yourself you claim it to be, and gently ask, what would choosing me look like here? It's a great question for everyone. Somebody asks you to do something, you can ask yourself in your brain the first 5 seconds, whatever your body is telling you, because then you start overthinking, you get into that subconscious mind or the ego takes over and decide if that's good for you. Yeah, you might want to help somebody, but is that going to take away from you in some way? And are you okay with that? Not saying it's a wrong thing. I'm just saying you got to take accountability for your actions. So that's it for today's morning mind dump. I thank you so much for spending this time with me. I know it was kind of like a really blunt conversation, not happy go lucky. I'm trying to live more freer with more peace and, like I said, be okay with my decisions that I've made. Yeah, I want to briefly explain something that I had one person comment, supposedly anonymously, but I feel like I do know who it was, but it doesn't matter who it was. This person called me a fraud and said that the message that I was giving was great, but I was a fraud. Of course, when I first read that a year ago, I was like, oh my God, why would they think that of me? They knew of me, but they didn't know me. Uh, And then I tried to remind myself too, like I didn't even know myself at the time. Now I'm like, yeah, I was a fraud because I wasn't sticking up to for myself. So yeah, I was a fraud. And I'm not now because I'm living my truth. I'm standing in my truth. Things changed when I stopped living for other people. And when I started saying no and people would be like, "What? Like, are you mad? Like, why aren't you doing what I asked of you. I'm helping you and you owe me and that kind of entitlement and not even coming up with a solution like what am I capable of? We work it out, right? Don't just assume that I'm just going to do whatever you ask me. I know this is vague, but maybe somebody out there needed to hear this. Just be kind, don't hold grudges, be your true self, and the people around you will either be there or not be there, and that's okay. If they're not around you because they feel like they're not getting from you what they need, then that's okay, and vice versa, you know? Doesn't have to be a long drawn out like fight or I hate you and I don't like you because you're a mean person or because you don't do what I want you to do. Anyway, all right. This went on too long and I definitely went overboard. But anyways, I really do appreciate you if you're still here listening to me ramble. If you enjoyed the chat today, obviously the most wonderful and completely free way you could support this channel and this passion project of mine is to engage with the video. Leave a comment, give a thumbs up so that other amazing people like you who might need to hear something that I said today um, it truly makes a difference. And I know I do this mostly for myself. It's my own therapy, but I also know that I'm supposed to do this to help somebody else out there. So if they're feeling the same way and you don't want to feel alone, then I got 200 and something other episodes. One might be for you. I don't know. But I just feel like we all need to be genuine and true to ourselves and not compromise because of other people. We don't want to rock the boat. And I learned to do that at a young age. And now I'm stepping away from that. It's not easy and it's a very uncomfortable situation sometimes. Now I have to be firm. And if you want to or feel called to do more and you want to support my hot chocolate fund, the donation link is in the description box always. And I appreciate you. Art is my full-time job and this podcast takes up a lot of time and editing but I do it because I love it and I love to do art and I love to teach. And so I am an art life coach. If you're interested in one-on-one sessions or workshops, I have available on my website at treetopia.com. That's it. Until next time, pour your coffee, your tea, your hot chocolate, hit the play button, take a few minutes to just wind down, open your mind, and be kind. Much love and hugs. Have a great day. Hi, just a quick note as we wrap up. I am a certified art life coach and I offer personalized one-on-one and group workshops. If you'd like to join me, you'll find all the information in the links below. I can't wait to support you on your creative path.
away. No judgment here, just heart and flow. Morning mind dump with Trie